Alright everyone, welcome to the 11.9 video. Trying to find my smart pen. There it is. So 11.9 is explore similar solids. Similar solids have two solids that are the same type with equal ratios of corresponding linear measures such as height or radii. The common ratio or the scale factor of one solid to another solid. Any two cubes are similar as well as any two spheres. Similar cylinders mean they grow at the same rate. They have the corresponding ratio of a radii to height, or radii to radii, or height to height. Non-similar cylinders, their heights are the same, and even though their radius might have a ratio, their heights are the same, so they are not growing at the same speed. So the first thing we have is we have to tell whether cylinders are similar to each other. Explain your reasonings. So cylinder P has a radius of 3 and a height of 5. So if we compare the radius of 3 to the radius of 9 of the second cylinder, does that equal the same height changing of 5 to 15? If I cross multiply, I get 45 equals 45. So these two cylinders, P and A, cylinder P is similar to cylinder A, because they have the same cross product. Now, on P to B, I have a 3 to the radius of 9. And did the height grow at the same rate that the radiuses or radii grew? I'm going to have 5 to 10. Cross multiply, I get 30 equals 45. P is not similar to B. So with that, similar solids theorem, the way it works out is two similar solids have the same scale factor of A to B. Then their corresponding ratio is A squared to B squared. So surface area, you square those lengths. Volume, you cube those. So the beach ball grows similar has a scale factor of 7 to 6. So their set radius is 7 to 6. Find the surface area and volume of the smaller ball, given that the larger ball has a surface area of 259.55 inches and a volume of 371.61 inches. So if I'm doing surface area first, larger is on top, so this would be 249.55 to x. Now, most of us just want to cross multiply and divide, but if I'm doing surface area, I have to square my original values. Okay? So that means I'm actually going to be working with the values of 49 to 36 equals 249.55 to x. 49x equals that product of 36 times 249.55. That gives you the value of 8983.8 divided by 49. I'm going to write the answer in red. I'm going to say the answer here after I divide it. Divide by 49, apology. I get approximately 183.34 for the surface area. Now, I'm going to do the same thing for the volume. I'm just going to move this up a little bit. So for volume, I have 7 over 6, but volume is cubed. Coming from up here, you got to cube your measurements, equals 371.61 over x. So 7 cubed, I have no idea, but I know 6 cubed is 216. 7 cubed is 343 equals x. 371.61. Cross multiply. I'm going to go back to purple. 343 x equals 216 times 371.61. That's a big number. 80,000, 267.76 divided by 343. X is approximately 234.02 for the volume. Okay, so moving up over here, that's our homework. So the problems that mean the most to us is tell whether the pairs are solid or similars. So 1, 2, 3, 4 are really important. Spheres, you just have to figure out the ratio. They have to grow at the same rate. There's not enough information on the spheres, but spheres are always similar. So this would be always similar. Here, I would take 2 to 8 and see if that equals the height of 6 to 18. I cannot write. Cross multiply, you get 48 equals 36, so these are not similar. Number 2, 15 to 10 equals 45 to 30. Cross multiply, 450 equals 450, so similar. And I will leave you with number 4. Number 1, or number 5, I'll set that one up. So you have surface area of 208 for volume A. So these are A's volumes. Whoops, can't write A. So you have 1 to 2 equals 208 over X. And then you have 1 to 2 equals 192 to X. Now, surface area, you got to make sure to square both. Volume, you need to make sure that you cube both. So you would have 1 over 8 actually equals that value, and you would have 1 over 4 actually equals that value. So you would solve this one, and then you would solve this one. Remember, this is from your homework. So, coming back over here, which ones are the most important questions for you? Answers figured over, but I really like these questions. So A is similar to B. Find the scale factor of A to B. So A to B means I'm going to go A divided by B equals, I'm going to go 64 over 512. Now, this is really cubed. So I got to take the cube roots of them. On my calculator, I'll bring up the calculator here. Okay. If you hit the second button on the online calculator and you hit the cubed root of 0 is 0. If I type in 64 and I take the cubed root, that gives me 4. I don't remember what the other number was. Double check here. The other number was 512. So if I take 512 and I go cubed root, I get 8. Okay. So this is really equal to 4 over 8 after I take the cubed roots, because I got to get it to just the single values, which really is just a half. So it's 1 to 2. Surface area, it's A squared and B squared, so I'm going to take the square roots of both of them. So 75 over 108. Whoops. What you can do before you do anything is you can simplify them, which is pretty sweet. So I'm going to see 25 doesn't go in 108, so if I divide them both by 3, 108 divided by 3 is 36. So I get 25 over 36. I divided both by 3 to get it down here. Okay. Oops, I forgot to write 36. And now I can take square roots. So I get 5 over 6. Another way to do cubed roots, going back to 64, is you can find what number times itself goes in there 3 times. So 64, if I pick 2, and I get 8, get 2, and I get 4, and I get, that's not right. Let's try that again. That's 2 and 16. Pomeroy, come on. 2 and 16, 2 and 4, 8, 2 and 4, 2 and 2. I'm missing some numbers. I'm missing a 32. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to just start that one over. So try again. 64 divided by 2 is 32. Divide by 2, 16. Divide by 2, 8. Divide by 2, 4. And 4 divided by 2 is 2. Groups of 3. 1, 2, 3. So I have 1, 2. 1, 2, 3 times another 2, which gives me 4. Looking for groups of 3. Cubed root is groups of 3. I don't like doing the factor root. I just like to do the calculator. You can simplify it beforehand, but that's your video, so I'm going to leave you with 9 and 10. These are the most important questions that you will have.